Whew. I'm getting emotional before I'm even starting to talk. So warning on that. Couple questions for you. Have you ever known your meaning, your purpose, what you came here to do? Well, today I'm gonna share a story. I think it'll be very powerful for you if you know there's more, if you know that there is more possibility and that you have a purpose in this world. And I'm going to share the story of the Onement and my meaning, my purpose, and how that will hopefully inspire, awaken, and show within you your purpose. So let's go. Let's see if I'm ready for this. Hey, I'm Gavin. I'm already getting teary-eyed. When I was just taking a shower, I started crying. And what I'm about to share with you, there's a huge emotional charge around it for me that I can understand, yet that sometimes I don't realize as much as it is, because this is a story from years ago. But in a lot of ways, it's a story about my life. The title of this is The Story Within the Story. And what that means is, I feel like this is all a story. This is all a dream. It's all a matrix. It's all an illusion. And this is like a component of my story. And really, it's an awakening story. I don't know where to start. I'm going to try to just real quick, bring you up to date. But basically in 2005, 2006, I was a real estate agent. Went out to San Diego, fell in love with it. My wife went back with me. And Harper's in the video. No. And we decided, hey, let's be those people that go for it. Let's be the people who, really go for the dreams and do something that most people won't do. And so we did. And we packed up everything, sold our business. Everybody thought we were crazy. Everybody was like, oh, you can always come back if it doesn't work out. But we were determined to make that work, right? And we moved out at the end of 2007. I got a straight commission sales job, and that's what I could find at the time. It was not my passion. In fact, I hated it. It was not I just didn't enjoy it. Yet had bills, had a young family. Our kids were any ages from 3 months to 5 years old. And so then 2008 hit. The economy kind of collapsed, and I made the decision to leave that job. And I came up, through meditation and over time, I had this, idea, this inspiration, this calling, I would say, that the name was the Onement. And so ended up attracting a designer and another friend of mine, and we started the Onement. And the idea was to spread the idea of oneness, to teach oneness. And it looked a little bit different than what it does now, yet was really passionate about it. But I had one big problem. How do I pay my bills? How do I do the Onement and actually pay bills and support a family and all the normal things of this 3D dimension, right? Time and space. So I came up with the idea sell t-shirts. And so I sold these bamboo t-shirts that said the Onement. And we were at farmers markets. We went to trade shows, street fairs. And actually a crazy story, one of my friends that I'd always wanted to meet there, that I'd lived there for a year or two, I met, his name is Jonathan Budd, and met him on a street fair. I was wearing my Onement shirt, and we had a sign that says, "We bamboo, do you?" And all of a sudden he comes up and he looks at it, and he immediately got it. And he was like, "The Onement." And I was like, "Jonathan Budd," right? And, I tell that story, and he was shocked. He was like, "What? How do you know?" And it was I knew I was supposed to align with him, but it was one of those synchronistic things and signs that I talk about that was I was on the right course. And I want to share with you in the story that I was in my absolute bliss. I'm hugging people. I'm this is my calling. Every day I woke up I was in so much joy. I felt aligned and I felt guided by Spirit, by God. And I had no idea how I was going to pay my bills. I had no idea how this was going to work. And to say that like I jumped off the cliff and trusted was like, and then some. Okay. So, sold t-shirts, was going, but California's not cheap. It was San Diego, and it wasn't, it wasn't going to work. And it was crushing, because like my soul was dancing and loving every minute of it. And then, I don't know what you want to call it. Maybe even my higher self was like, Gavin, like, you've got to look at some things here. And we were about to lose everything, our cars, like our credit, the house we had at the time. And I was just ignoring it all. Like I was in this other reality rather than this time and space reality. And kind of my wife one day was like, listen, like this isn't going to work. And, obviously my marriage and my kids meant a great deal to me. And I just remember going to the beach, and it's like, the past is an interesting thing because it's like you have these memories that I know now, like it's not real, but it feels like it's yesterday. Like these feelings still come up. And I cried at the beach, like hard in sunglasses by myself for like 5 hours. And I was so mad. I was so mad at the universe. I was so mad at God. And I was really like mad at myself that I'd given myself this hope that I had, gone for it. And that, once again, that, something trying for it, like it wasn't going to work out because I had to like be back in this physical world and, live in limitation, which my soul has always fought like that's complete bullshit, right? Like, I've had this battle between like, the physical world and like what I would call reality, which is unlimited possibility and love and oneness. And so, I sat there and I cried and I cried. I was mad and these feelings and dark night of the soul. And like, I remember, and I think you'll be able to relate, but like to deal with the stuff that appears in this world, I shut my heart down. I was like, okay, I've got to man up, whatever that is. I've got to, follow my responsibilities. And, I don't want to let anybody down. So like I just swallowed those beliefs of what was possible and ignored my soul and shut it off. And so we got back on our feet. And I ignored and I back in my mind, I was like, like my soul, I would say it, my higher self was like, hey, the Onement's still possible. You might have just like jumped off a cliff without really learning how to fly and what it looks like. And so, that was like, basically, I think I stopped the Onement in 2010, roughly in that time, maybe the end of 2009. And it's 2023. So, 14 years have gone by. It's a little embarrassing to cry on camera. Yet, I do feel like, to a certain extent, why I'm telling you this story is that there's a semblance of this for everyone, that they know deep within them their possibility. They know like more who they really are. And because of fear and because of things not looking the way they expect or that they want or getting the results they want, that they close their heart like I did. They go do these things that don't make them happy, that they don't want to do in the name of safety, in the name of others, in the name of like, limiting beliefs really. And all the while, they know their dreams. They know like deep down what's possible. And yet we're just afraid because we have failed at times. And there's no such thing as failure. It's like we stopped, really, is what I've learned. There's, it's all part of the process. And, where I'd like to go with this story is flip it a little bit, because it's taken me many, many years to have the courage to start the One Min again, because it was such a crushing defeat to feel so blissful and like I'm in my passion and my purpose, and then to have it, like make the decision that it was taken away from me, and then I felt empty and I felt like this void, and I felt like I was acting like somebody who I really wasn't. And I lost myself, and I like golf, but I lost myself in like partying and golf and the materialism and chasing money and goals, all things you might be able to relate to, but all the while inside, like I was in pain. I was lost. I was confused. I was freaking mad that, in a way, like I felt like a sellout. Like I feel like we all come to this body, this dream, this illusion to like remember our truth, to awaken, to see what's possible, to live, to experience, to love the ups and the downs. And yet it's so easy just to go to the safety, to go to like what, seems like the smart thing to do, the responsible thing to do. Oh, you're a dad, you're a husband, you're a friend, you're a son, you're all these labels, right? And like, you're doing things for other people and not realizing like who you really are. You get lost in that. And I have come to realize that this is still the journey. It's still happening. There was no failure. Like there was just a hiatus, and time doesn't exist. And that like, I'm doing the One Min. I'm sharing what oneness is. Experiencing who you really are, coming from truth. And I call it living oneness, like unlimited possibility experienced in what feels like a limiting body, and knowing like the truth of who you really are without having to like leave the body, like within the body, right? So here I am. I'm doing podcasts. I'm doing blogs. I've created these t-shirts, right? We are all one. And I'm not attached. I have a job. I'm doing this on the side. I'm not attached to like what I sell or how many views. Like I'm sharing my heart. I'm sharing my journey. I'm crying on camera right now because like I know I know who I am. I know who you are, and I know my purpose is to share this journey openly with people, the ups and the downs, and that we get to like do this together. We get to like recognize in ourselves and recognize in other people like that truth, that love, what is real, not this BS that happens in the world that we think like we fall for the trick. Or we're like, oh, that's awful. Like this world is such a bad place, and it's like there's so much healing and growth that needs to happen. And quite frankly, I've realized like the perfection's unfolding. It wasn't the time. That wasn't like, this is like everything that's happening was what was supposed to happen, was what was supposed to be this process, what was supposed to like, it's the plan, it's the story. And this is just the story within the story. And, however it turns out, as long as I listen to that, as long as you listen to that, as long as like, what's your dream? What is that book, that, place you want to go, that, dream job, that significance that you get to share with the world, whatever that is, like I'm asking you to maybe share it in the comments. I'm asking you to reawaken that within you, that like, I want to be on this journey of remembrance of truth with you. Hence the One Min. hence sharing my journey and teaching. Ultimately, I don't feel like we have to like die to realize that only love is real, that we can, that we are light, that we aren't bodies, that there is no limitation. Like that's a story that we've told ourselves and that we've bought into based on what our eyes are seeing, that is absolutely not true. And we have to forgive that limitation, to forgive those false beliefs about ourselves. And right now, in this moment, get to experience who we really are. Get to share the truth in living form in our mind and experience that. And I will honestly say right now, I mean, I have some resentment. I have some like things I'm working through, some beliefs that I think like I have to do it this way. It has to look this way. But what I'm doing is I'm stepping in, to this. I'm stepping into the One Mint. I'm doing, these videos. I'm like following the guidance. I'm listening, and I can feel my heart opening up again. It's a little bit scary. But it also feels really good. And I want to, encourage you and help you remember like who we are together. So that's the story of the One Mint. I felt like early in this vlog session, if you haven't if you haven't like watched the first video, if you haven't seen what the One Mint's about, go back and watch the first vlog video. I'll put a link on it below. But I'm seriously like, I'm here, I'm about this. It's one person's experience, but I feel like we're all have the ability to like, this is like the synchronicity of awakening together, right? And this is what I feel called to do and share. So hope you enjoyed that story. I want this to be entertaining and fun, and in the world of TikTok and short videos and Instagram, I'm at 17 minutes. I was hoping it'd be at 10, right? Yet there's a lot to share, and it turned out to be what it is. So anyway, have a lot of fun stuff planned. Would love for you to subscribe. Would love you to like. I'd love to hear from you. I really would. Like, what's your dream? What do you feel like your purpose and meaning is? And I'm going to talk a lot more about that, because it's not just like this beingness and like this doing in the world. This, the One Mint for me is just the expression of, and like the proof of knowing who I really am. I mean, that's all it is. I don't have to do anything. I am that already. Yet it's kind of like believing and showing myself through the being and the doing, and eventually it'll be me, right? So much love. I say in one of my shirts, it's all love. It's all love. And I'm excited you're here. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. And I'm excited for so many more cool videos and things I'm going to share with you. So take care. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.